It didn't end. That's what made it confusing. He didn't walk away. He didn't disappear. He just changed. One moment he was there, present, engaged, warm, and the next, he needed space, not in a dramatic way, not in a way that felt final, just enough to create distance, but not enough to lose you. And that's where it started, because space sounds reasonable, healthy even. So you respected it. You didn't push, you didn't chase, you gave him room. And for a moment, it felt like the right thing to do, until you noticed something. He didn't fully leave. He still texted, still checked in, still reacted to your stories, still found small ways to stay present. Not consistently, not deeply, but just enough to remind you he was still there. And that's what made it hard. Because you weren't losing him, but you weren't really having him either. You were somewhere in between. And that space slowly started to affect you. Because now, instead of feeling secure, you felt uncertain. You started noticing the gaps, the delays, the inconsistency. But every time you felt like pulling away, he would come back. Not fully, just enough. A message, a comment, a moment of warmth. And suddenly, you were pulled back in. Not because you were chasing, but because he hadn't let you go. And that creates something subtle. Hope. The kind that keeps you waiting. Because if he still reaches out, then something must still be there, right? So you stay patient, understanding. You tell yourself, he just needs time. He's figuring things out. And maybe part of that is true, but something else is happening too. Something quieter. You're adapting to less effort, less presence, less clarity, and calling it space because that's the word he gave you. But what it feels like is distance. And this is where it becomes difficult to see clearly, because nothing is completely gone. If he had disappeared, you would know. If he had ended it, you could process it. But he didn't. He stayed just close enough to keep the connection alive. And that creates confusion, because your mind tries to make sense of it. If he still cares, why is he distant? If he needs space, why does he still reach out? And the answer isn't always obvious, because space can mean different things. Sometimes it's genuine. Someone feels overwhelmed, needs time, needs to recalibrate. But other times, it's something else. A way to reduce pressure without losing connection, to step back without fully letting go. And that's where it gets complicated, because now he gets both, distance and access. He doesn't have to show up fully, but he doesn't lose you either. And over time, that dynamic starts to shift, without you realizing it, because the more you accept less, the more it becomes the new normal. You stop expecting consistency. You start appreciating small things more than you should. And slowly, your standard adjusts. Not because you chose it, but because you adapted. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about what he's doing. It's about what you're allowing. Not in a blaming way, but in a quiet, unnoticed way. Because you're trying to understand, to be patient, to not push him away. But in doing that, you stay in something undefined, something that doesn't fully meet you. And that's exhausting, because uncertainty takes more energy than clarity ever will. So the question isn't, why does he need space? The real question is, what does that space look like for you? Because space shouldn't feel like confusion. It shouldn't feel like waiting. And it shouldn't feel like slowly losing yourself while holding on to someone who isn't fully there. Healthy space has clarity. It has direction. It has intention. This doesn't. This feels like hesitation. And hesitation isn't something you build on. It's something you recognize. So instead of trying to decode his behavior, you come back to yourself, to what you need, to what feels stable, to what feels real. Because real connection doesn't live in almost. It lives in consistency, in presence, in someone who doesn't need to stay halfway to feel safe. And once you see that clearly, you stop holding on to the version of him that only shows up sometimes, and start choosing the version of connection that shows up fully, even if that means letting go of what almost was.